Hey friends, it's Jerry Ann Massey with Annie McHugs. We may have met before. This is my logo. You may have seen me online, on Facebook at anniemchugs.com. You may have seen me at teaching or at market or at festival. A couple years ago, I came out with a picture window reverse applique tool that made windows. Here's what the tool looked like, and it made windows inside Dresden blades, Dresden plates, and then you have the blades. This is fabric. I cut a window out of the blade and then brought fabric in from behind, and I did the same thing here on the lower. So that's reverse applique because the fabric comes in from behind, and I'm so excited. I have a whole new tool for you. Does a whole different thing, but it is still reverse applique. So let me show you what I'm so excited about. And it is this. Is this not beautiful? So this, well, not the quilt, but the fabrics. Aren't the fabrics gorgeous? So Monique Jacobs from Open Gate Quilts designed this fabric, and it's called an Amore. And she designed it for Maywood Studios, which is a division of E.E. Shank. It's gorgeous. It is beautiful fabric. And she has a new line coming out as this videos come out. But this quilt is based, so I've named my quilt Amore because of that. These were 10-inch blocks that finished out at 9.5, and I have a block finder. Let me show you. This is the block. Right? See that? That's the block. This is 10 inches, and it ended up being 9.5, which it should have been. So today, you are now being, this is my brand new baby. So orange peel, reverse applique. This is the tool, and I'm going to show you how it works and everything, and how simple this is. Don't worry about reverse applique. It is so easy. So the tool is square, 10 inches. It has registration lines for 1/4 inch. This is the large window. What goes in here is the football shape. That's the orange peel, and it has a window inside. And of course you get that piece also. So let me show you how this works. Oh, and let me say that the back of this is a non-slip backing on the, so it's wonderful to work with. So all you do is you take either your pre-cuts or I'm using with the fabric and just cutting it into 10-inch squares. You lay your tool immediately, just perfectly, it just fits on your fabric. You take whatever marking device you want to use. In this case, I'm using a friction, and I draw around the edge, right? That's all I do. I lift my tool, and I take a rotary cutter, and I am going to cut, through the magic of television, the center out. But what is very important here is you want to mark, here's the line, here's the fold line, and here's the cut line. You want to cut at least 1/4 inch, because this is not raw edge, this is finished edge, and we want to fold this all over so that we have a clean edge just like that. However, to do that, to fold it over like that, you have to snip it. Oh, let me see if this will help. You have to snip the fabric. Do you see how this is snipped every inch or so? All I did was I came in with my scissors and went snip, and I snipped to the line. That's all I do. I just snip all the way around. The next step is you take whatever glue you love. Everybody has their preference. It doesn't matter to me. All fabric glue preference is about whatever you like. So Soline is a good one. Some people use the washable Elmer's. So the way this works and the way this happened was I'm going to run a bead of glue along the edge, just like that, just like a little bit of lipstick. And then I'm going to roll this back, and it folds perfectly on that line. And I just go all the way around, just laying it down. Then I go to the iron and I press it. I'll show you what that looks like. So this one has already been pressed. The reason you press it is so that the glue will disperse, it'll melt, and it'll disperse into the fabric. And then it will not, your needle will not become gummy when you're stitching around it. If you don't press it and it doesn't spread out like that, it's going to be gummy, and you don't want that on your sewing needle, on your machine. Okay, so now I have a perfectly finished, beautifully edged opening window, right? Picture window. Now I have to fill that window, and here I have some of Monique's beautiful fabric, and I want it about like that. See that? Well, I've cut it so that I'll have excess so that I can arrange it. So it's the same process. I hit it with whichever glue. So you notice I just hit it with glue. Just touch up. It doesn't take a ton. This is just to get me to the sewing machine so I can stitch it down. I lay it like I want it. I finger press it. Now what I would do is I would hit that with the iron again, just press it down so that the glue melts. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch. I'm going to top stitch. And I'm going to stitch literally right along the edge. Let me show you how that looks. It looks like this. Well, it does. It looks just like that. So this stitch is just right. I mean, it's not even 1/8 of an inch. It's just really, really close to the edge. Just top stitch right along the edge. Now, you have the decision, are you going to put the inner window? In this case, I'm going to put the inner window. Let me show you how I did that. I take the tool again. I'm not through with it. I lay it in that space, right? So just, it aligns perfectly. I take my marker of whatever, sort I have. I draw it inside that line with my cutter. I cut it, and out it comes. So here's my line, and there it is. I flip, well, I don't flip it over. I'm sorry. But I snip it. I just snip all the way around. I do the same thing. I glue on the back and fold it down. I glue. I fold. I finger press. I glue, I fold, I finger press. I glue, I fold, I finger press, right? Then I take it to the iron and melt the glue. The next step looks like this. So this is what it looks like all glued down. So see, that's perfectly clean finish line. And then remember the original piece of fabric that came out? Look. I glue this like so, finger press, and then I would iron it, and then I will top stitch this one down. So the process is draw, cut inside the lines, 1/4 of an inch inside the lines, glue it back, add your piece of fabric, top stitch it. Now you've got this whole block. Oh, the other thing I did, I should say, the only other thing I did for this one is I snowballed the corners. So that's the, like the lightning version of this, of how I made this quilt. Now the borders on this are block borders, and I snowballed those. So that's how those got to be in shape. So let me show you some other quilts that I've made using the tool. So this one has 2 windows in it, right? So here's my background fabric, big window, little window. So I call that sort of like a double window. Okay, here's a quilt I made, and I'm going to hold it up, and then I'm going to fold it and talk to you about it. Okay, so this is the same concept, right? All right, here's your block. Can you see it? Okay, so there's my block. But you notice this window is just the large window, but I used a strip set inside the large window. So I did not do the smaller inner window here. Same block, I snowballed the corners. This quilt has 16 blocks. This one did too. I was just trying the without the inner window. Now, oh, I can show you a comparison. Before I put this away, let me show you the comparison. So this is the block, but I did something similar using the strip sets, but I did the inner window. So sometimes you do want the inner window here, and sometimes you don't. You see the difference? So you have all kinds of varieties. This one didn't snowball. I didn't snowball either. So it is lots of different ways you can play with this. One more thing. You can take this small inner piece, this piece, and it fits perfectly on a 5-inch pre-cut. So corner to corner, this is that size. Or it fits 4 times on a 10-inch square. I haven't even gotten this one quilted, but I'll let you sneak peek. Look. That is 4 of the small tools. 4 of the small ones in one, you see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was just measuring, and I will be more than happy to teach this. And so be sure and go look at YouTube, look at AnnieMcHugs.com, look at Facebook, because you can, if this was a 5-inch square, it fits perfectly on a 5-inch square. So, here's what I'm working on right now. And these are just blocks. This is a 5-inch square, and this is the tool that goes in the middle. So you can, there's just in this, it's just amazing the variety. So what I would say is, if you are interested, look for the Annie McHugs logo. Look for Annie McHugs. I have both. Everything I do is going to be reverse applique. That is, I'm just all over. How do you cut a hole in fabric, make it look beautiful, bring out the contrast, make patterns, and make it quick and easy and fun to do. This is definitely just a day quilt, or, you know, like take a day maybe kind of thing. This is something you could work on in an afternoon. So find us on Annie McHugs, Facebook and YouTube, and AnnieMcHugs.com. And thank y'all so much. I hope you have a blessed day.